Hello everyone, welcome to another beer review. Now, today is another Wednesday video, and you understand, and if you've seen any of my past videos, which is quite interesting because I had a comment about a kind of the sister beer to this one, and it just so happens that I'm in there looking for some stuff. I think I got the Hobgoblin Amber Piss Water at the same time, but I got this one, and it's I just thought maybe it's fate, because the thing was, I did the sister beer of this years ago, and I got a kind of comment, basically slightly defending the sister beer, but then claiming that this person prefers more flavoursome beer and everything else and that type of stuff. But there was a few kind of arguments and points this person was making. One of the things was that, water makes such a big difference about body and everything else, and it's very complicated, and I know because I used to be a brewer and blah 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 and all this type of stuff, which is great, wonderful, marvellous. Water does play its part, but there's lots of other things that plays its part as well. Water management is all part of kind of modern breweries nowadays, because a lot of them don't use natural water sources, so they have to kind of manage their water a bit, because at the end of the day a lot of times it's coming from what we call public sources, and sometimes of course it's got all that kind of nonsense with it as well. Sometimes they do have natural sources, but again, bigger breweries don't really have that luxury. Very few of them do. A lot of smaller breweries do have kind of their own kind of private water source and everything else, and that's great and wonderful, and they get the benefit of that. But if you're getting your water from public sources, then it requires a bit more management to kind of one, get rid of any added kind of ingredients by the local authorities, and also again just to keep adjusting to get that kind of consistency of what you want from your water and things like that. So yeah, that's very important. But there's lots of other things. Ingredients, very important. Quality of ingredients, what type of ingredients you're actually using and things. So there's lots of different things in it. It's alchemy, let's be totally honest. But I was kind of strange because this guy went on about it and everything else, and he kept mentioning that, I used to be a brewer. So I thought, right, I'll do a wee bit of background checking, and I did some checking. Also turns out that this person has got a dog in the fight, because this person had actually worked for the brewery that made the sister beer of this, and I can understand why he was kind of defending it, because me slagging it off, obviously kind of maybe had a bit of pride about it, because mentioning about all the awards it's won and all that in his bio and all that type of stuff on LinkedIn and things like that. And now I can understand his kind of reaction. And at the end of the day, I don't do it to put people's noses out of joint. If the beer's shit, then it's shit. And the good thing is you notice the beer's shit because it's a nitro pour ale. So what we're doing today is Belhaven Best, which we've already done in the can, the nitro pour, the pissy one, the one he was getting quite defensive over. Not overly defensive, but I think if anybody was a brewer that respected proper beer and that type of stuff, and you like flavoursome beer, then you can't really defend Belhaven Best because it's lacking in fucking flavour. You're talking about water and that type of stuff, well, there's a slight kind of metallic back end to it, so again, that's definitely down to the fucking water. And then thirdly, which is the great thing, is it was such a wonderful fucking beer, it's more about fucking texture, because they made it a nitro fucking pour, and nothing to do with the actual quality or flavour or fucking ingredients. And just because it's won awards, you've seen me basically do beers, you've tried beers yourself, that are supposed to be award winning, you take, what fucking piss is this, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if it's won a fucking award, Jesus, you can buy them out a fucking lucky bag, especially from camera, Jesus, fuck, seriously. So yes, apparently this is the new smooth session ale, and it's 3.2%. In other words, it's the same original probably beer, but what they've done is they've diluted it down to a lower ABV, and they've left it the nitro and just given it a normal one. But apparently, here we go, Because of course this is involved with Greene King, and I think there's a little article about Greene King that I wanted to kind of highlight as well today. So I'll do that. And I thought I'd get this because there's not much left in this bottle either. This is black bottle blended Scotch whisky. It's actually very nice. This is the Andean Oak, which is sweet, nutty spice. Yeah. She was a natural ginger, by the way. Just thought I'd tell you that. You know, you're going on to the kind of Spice Girls and things like that. No, I've seen her naked in parade, and yeah, definitely dark down there. So yeah, she died of her. Just in case there was any ambiguity about that, you know. But anyway, so this was kindly given to me for my birthday in May. So I've actually done not too bad. I've been holding it back a bit, but this was nicely provided to me by John Morris, the guy who's been doing dirties with my sister. And I kept telling him, you're going to catch something. You know what I mean? She'll kill me for that. But it's the truth. Anyway, so yeah, there's a bit of spiel on the back of this. Established in 1719. Yes, yeah, maybe it's established in 1719, but what's available there now and what was established in 1719 is two different fucking things. Belhaven Brewery is Scotland's oldest working brewery. Well, that would be fucking difficult. I think it's one of the few working breweries left. Situated in Dunbar, East Lothian. I don't know, I seem to be getting quite a hoarse at the throat now. Maybe because I'm shouting at myself all the time. You drink that push for, you know, that type of thing. Belhaven Best is a smooth session ale at 3.2% ABV with malty aromas. Well, you might get the smell of fucking malt, but you probably won't taste it. A delicious pint that brings people together. Aye, like fucking super glue. As good times shared are the best. There you go. Oh, shabang, shabang, shaboof. There you go. Yes. But yeah, this is kind of obviously as part of the kind of, I'm sure it's part of the kind of Greene King kind of controlling stake, isn't it, or something like that, is it not? Doesn't say much about the ingredients. Not really much, but yes, let's see what this was going to be like. This is going to be fun. Although obviously, I'm definitely going to need the whiskey because I don't think this is. I mean, I might be wrong. I might be surprised. You know what I mean? I'll pull this out because there's also a little article. We're just talking about in 2024 how many. I'll cut my half finger there. How many pubs were shut? They were talking about basically Labour and their policies. Well, again, if you're outside the UK, Labour is the political party that's actually in government just now. And one of the major things was, oh, getting slight light strike there. It's slightly skunked. Yeah. Getting a bit of cabbage there. A bit of capusta. Yeah, Jesus fuck. Why did they put it in a clear bottle? Arsehole. Obviously, it'd be a lot worse if it was a fucking lager. But yeah. So, with the present government's policies, I'm not going to keep saying Labour because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what political party. I'm not basically affiliated to any political party and I don't give a shit. I'm not left, right or anything that type of stuff. I'm more of a pragmatist. Something that doesn't seem to work with politicians and governments because they're certainly not pragmatic and don't seem to have any pragmatists as their kind of MPs. So yes, it's all bullshit and lies. But apparently, obviously, with their policies, the British government had obviously increased a few different kind of taxes and costs that affected pubs. And I was actually quite surprised because in Scotland in 2024, 61 pubs shut. In the southwest, 38 shut. In the West Midlands, it was 38. In London, it was only 34. In Yorkshire and Humber, it was 34. In the northwest, it was 34, as in England. The East Midlands was 33. The southeast was 27, and the east of England was 27. Wales, 19. pubs shut last year, and in the northeast it was 6, and in Northern Ireland it was 3. And this kind of article, I think it was in the Telegraph, and it was somebody at the bit of their beaner bonnet. They don't like the. It basically is a good example is when they're talking about this. It says they basically said, let's be completely honest about this. Would the world really be a worse place if some of the really big operators had less of the stranglehold over the industry? They seem to think that this is a good thing with pubs shutting, and hopefully the majority of them will be from the kind of bigger pub chains like Greene King, Slug and Lettuce. Didn't mention Wetherspoons in the article, but they're talking about all the kind of the bigger kind of soulless pubs. It also says if there were a competition to provide the most soulless, overpriced experience on the high street, then a trip to a Greene King pub or a Slug and Lettuce would surely be hard to beat. Although Harvey's got a bit of a kicking as well. Apparently Harvey's pubs, I haven't been in a Harvey's pub for years, but apparently the Harvey's brewery, their pubs, the rules are so strict now that you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't swear. Well, that'll be me fucked. Anyway, you know, interesting. Oh yeah, is it? Well, that'll be me. Well, there you go. Out. There you go. Yes. So that'll be me. Never mind. So, yeah, I would say I've been into some pubs that they're quite soulless and things like that. And again, it's all about kind of looking good, and you know they spent a lot of money on the decor and everything else, but it doesn't really kind of provide any kind of benefit. It just feels kind of false and soulless, and just feels like you're on a kind of a theatre set really than a pub. And yeah, I'm getting quite a whiff of cabbage on that. Right, bugger that. Just make sure that's not any drips in it. Let's get the whiskey poured. Because I'm not happy about that. Why the point do they always do that? Bloody Belhaven. Oh, am I putting too much in that? No such thing as that. Give you a wee kind of look at it. There you go. I'll have a wee sniffing it once it gets a wee chance to kind of open up a bit. Get some of the aromas vaping off. Right. So, as you can see with this, a wee bit of a head there, kind of dark amber, clear, bit of malt, not really much, bit of malt. Again, you're getting multi-tones, but they're not even strong enough to identify kind of caramel or toffee or that. It was just this kind of slightly kind of malty sweetness. That's really the kind of main thing. No hops, and again you're getting that bit of cabbage. This can obviously die down as the beer's had a chance to vent, because of course the kind of the aroma of cabbage from the skunking tends to kind of vape off quite quickly, but because it's got more malt in it and less hops, this style of beer, you'll get the skunking, but it doesn't last and it usually doesn't affect the flavour. Lagers, usually a different story, because a lot of lagers or pale ales or things like that, or golden ales, you'll probably suffer more on degradation of flavour if they've been skunked. But yeah, let's see what it tastes like. I'm trying to think of what I can say, because I'll be told that there's nothing there, absolutely nothing there. It's just, I mean, are my lips wet? do I have to take some there? You know, I mean, it's like that. It's so bloody flavourless. I'm thinking, just checking there's a bit of moistness in the lips. Did I actually take anything in there? Did I spill it somewhere? You know. Am I wet? Did I dribble? Did anybody see me dribble it? Did it just kind of, you know? Fucking hell. Nothing there. Jesus fucking hell, there's nothing. Right, anyway, back on the whiskey because there's fuck all to talk about with that just now. Getting a little bit kind of more acid tone. So it is from the alcohol. What's this is a 4 point. Oh, 4 point. Why do I keep so? I'm so used to talking about beer. This is a 46.3% ABV. Getting a light hints of malt. Getting a slight sweetness. Slightly spicy. Yeah, getting slightly almond tones. So yeah, that's as best I can get, because again, the kind of slight acetone effect that you're getting with the alcohol is masking quite a lot. So again, a bit of water will probably open that up. Any spill in the back? Not really. But apparently this is the Alchemy series. It's non-chill filtered, natural colour. So in other words, no caramel added. And there's a few different ones it does, you know, as part of the Alchemy series. So there's kind of different blends and that type of stuff, giving you different flavour profiles. So this is Andine Oak is the cask, and this version, which is the Alchemy series number 3, and it's sweet, nutty spice. Excuse me. So we'll add a little bit of water there, and we'll let that kind of put itself in. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Give that a wee whiz round. Oh, it's a hard life, this, by the way. As you can probably understand now, it's a case of I didn't actually want to kind of having to have a pause in the videos, because I don't know, but for some reason I seem to enjoy them, and I seem to be enjoying the Wednesday videos a lot more than I used to. I don't know why. Anybody have any idea? If you do, please put them down below. Yeah, it's nothing there. It really is nothing there. There's a bit of sweetness there, a little bit of grain. Oh, Jesus, there's very little malt flavour. I mean, session. I mean, yeah. I mean, smooth session ale. Well, it's so smooth and sessionable that you can't even taste it. It's just, you know what I mean? It's a colour. That's what it is. It's like almost like a coloured water. You know, slightly kind of off-coloured carbonated water. And even then, what I've noticed, the carbonation's a wee bit higher than what it should be as well, especially for something sessionable. It actually loses a little bit of the kind of sessionability just because it's just slightly more carbonated than it really needs to be. And especially for a session ale, usually with a session ale, one of the things is the carbonations drop down a little bit more, you know. Ah, Jesus, it's just rubbish, it really is. Which, you know, my luck with Belhaven. It was just a race to the bottom when I was doing that series. It was a case of which one was going to be the worst. I mean, they were all fucking bad, I'll be totally honest, they really were. And I don't give a fuck if I put people's doses out of joint with that. I'm not going to fucking lie. And I'm not going to basically, you know, put mock, false praise on something that fucking doesn't deserve it. You know what I mean? Just because some other stupid bastard gave it an award and that type of stuff. Well, at the end of the day, I'm not going to, and I certainly ain't going to claim it's fucking justified either. So, if you don't like it, don't fucking watch, you know what I mean? Or go and try it your fucking self, and then see with a straight face in the mirror, see if you can lie to yourself by saying it's fucking wonderful and you can understand why it's award winning. No, it's just utter fucking piss, it really is. So yes, it was a race to the bottom with the last series, and I just thought, well, hey, there's a laugh. And yeah, they're consistent, just consistently rubbish. It really is. It's an embarrassment. It really is, because I want to see good Scottish beers. I want Scottish beers to be able to be kind of compete with the good English ales and everything else, and I find it very disappointing that they don't. You know, finding a good Scottish ale, I mean, we're talking more traditional, not your fucking stupid craft fucking piss. You know what I mean? We're talking about good traditional Scottish ales. It's getting more difficult. to try and find good Scottish ales, especially in cask. I mean, Jesus God. I mean, the pubs that I've been to, kind of locally, around about the Glasgow area, most of them, if they've got cask on, it's casks from England. Not one of them had a Scottish ale. In fact, there's only one place that I know that I can regularly go to, and I always get Scottish ale on cask, and that's the Suitor Inn in South Ayrshire. It's actually just slightly north of Turnberry, as in Trump Turnberry golf course and kind of village. And so yes, it's in the southwest of Scotland, west coast. And so it's South Ayrshire, and it's Kirkoswald, and it's a Suitor Inn, which is a little kind of it's actually quite a nice restaurant. It's a little kind of a small bar, but it's mostly about the food and everything else, and the food's actually very good and the prices are very good standard. But what they do, they usually have two casks on, and they'll have a lighter cask ale and they'll have a dark cask ale, and yeah, fair play to them, and they're very nice, especially the dark ones. Very, very nice. Although unfortunately the last time I was there, they'd actually run out and they're still waiting for the delivery. So yes, it was supposed to be there a couple of days late, unfortunately, with the delivery. So it was off, so I actually had to have a fucking Guinness. You know what I mean? Which was unfortunate, because no comparison. So they were very nice, and the meals, I think they get them from the Arn Brewery. I think they come from the Arn Brewery, hence why sometimes there can be a delay with the delivery, because it's coming from the island. But I'll be totally honest, that's consistent, and if I want a Scottish ale in cask, it's a good place to go. But surprisingly how many pubs around about Glasgow just don't, if they have any cask, 9 times out of 10 it's mostly English options. And same with Wetherspoons, they're all kind of English options and things like that on cask. Now, I'm not saying they don't have the old Tennants and all the other piss waters, you know, on tap, but on cask. So yeah, it's quite disappointing. It really is. Right. Getting more vanilla. I'm getting a little bit more sweetness. Maybe slight citrus. Let's see what it tastes like. It's nice. Nice kind of level of sweetness. It just works. It's not overly sweet, but there's just that nice kind of level of sweetness. Just that, give it ever so slight honey tones with that sweetness. It's very nice. Get a bit of nuttiness, a little bit of spice, and yeah, the sweetness. When it says sweet and nutty and spice, there is quite a nice bit of sweetness there, nice kind of honey tones there. And overall, very nice, very enjoyable. Again, another smooth one. Just a little splash of water, and you're just getting a nice kind of a nice smoothness to it. And overall, again, I don't know what this cost because I got it as a gift. It might be obviously a bit more than I would probably pay normally. I've got some new ones. I've got Shackleton's blended one there. I've got Ardmore, and I got Woodsman. Now, I'm sure that's a Diageo one. Woodman's. I've had it ages ago, and actually it wasn't too bad. It's a blended one, so it's a wee bit more upmarket blended whiskey and that type of stuff. And I had it ages ago actually. Well, during lockdown actually, I think there was a deal on it, and I bought some like 5 fucking bottles of it. What fuck else to do? You know what I mean? Just like everyone else. Partly people are all desperate to go for a fucking walk. I found something else to do instead. Yes. I used to have what we call mellow afternoons. You know, I was getting shit faced, to be totally honest. It was just fucking great. You know, can't go to work today. No, so we're still in lockdown. Not bottles getting it today, you know. Yeah, you go for a walk, love. Good luck. Remember to obey the rules. Don't go too, well, go far enough so you're not back too early. You know, that type of thing. So yeah, I was buying lots of different whiskies just to enjoy and things like that. And of course, you're buying them online. They were fucking cheap as chips. A lot of the prices were right down. And yeah, like God knows what the Amazon delivery guys must have thought at the time, because they were down in Devon and constantly, nearly every fucking second day, whiskey was being delivered. And you used to say, oh, got your bottles for you. Oh, thank you, sir. You're a gentleman. 2 metres. Fucking behave. You know, that type of stuff, you know. I don't know, I think it must have been an ugly bastard, which I thought was quite a good thing that you had to wear a mask. But anyway, I'm not going to I can't even break down the flavours because there isn't really any flavours. So what would I give this out of 10? In fact, there's such a lack of flavour, I'm actually getting ever so slight cabbage actually in the taste. Oh, it's just fucking dire, it really is. And it's very disappointing. I mean, I'd love it if fucking Belhaven actually did a nice beer. I really would. I would fucking love it. And I would, you know, I'd be honest. I mean, it's not as if like I've got a thing against Belhaven. I don't. The thing I've got against them is the beer's shit. If they actually did a decent beer, then yeah, I would sing their praises and I would promote it, and especially if it came in cask and everything else. Again, I would promote it and everything else. I'd be there. I'd be, yeah, it's nice, it's good. It's get it in cask. Yeah, go for it. You know what I mean? I'd recommend it. I can't recommend this piss. I really can't. It's just, it's actually over-carbonated for session. There's hardly any fucking flavour in it. It's 3.2% smooth. Well, of course it's fucking smooth. There's nothing there to provide resistance. No flavour, no nothing. The only thing that actually provides resistance is it's slightly over-carbonated. What would I give it? I mean, I'll be totally honest. The last time we did, what was it? Hobgoblin Amber beer. What did I give that? Something like 3.5 or 4, I can't remember. I'd actually say, even though with the sharpness of the flavour of that, it's got more to it than this. This just has nothing to it. It really is. It's so fucking disappointing. Just like, you know, like I'm still waiting for the beer to turn up. You know what I mean? You poured it out and you think, is it still left in the fucking bottle or something? You know, hello, the flavour in there. You know, it's like that. It's a fucking bought 2. I can't even use a fucking bottle for fucking homebrew because it's fucking clear. Even I wouldn't fucking use it, you know what I mean? It's fucking, even homebrewers wouldn't use that shit, so what's the fucking point? Yeah, 2. It's just shit. It really is. It's up there with the fucking mainstream fucking piss water lagers. It's just a waste of fucking space. So yeah, 2 out of 10. 500ml bottle, 3.2%. Don't bother. Now a black bottle. Alchemy Series number 3. What would I give this a 10? It's nice. It's enjoyable. Slightly kinky. But I like it. No, it is. It's a nice smoothness to it. Again, I would recommend it, but again, I don't know what price it is because I didn't buy it. And I'm not looking at the price either because it was a gift. I feel a bit skanky and a bit wrong doing that. At the end of the day, I don't want to know what somebody's bit. If they were nice enough to buy me a present for the birthday, then I'm not going to try and think about a value on it. At the end of the day, it was a nice thought and it was a nice gift. No matter if they got it on fucking sale, stole it, fucking went out shoplifting and they got it, I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? What they fucking spent or didn't spend doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's a nice enjoyable whiskey and I got it for nothing. And at the end of the day, that makes it even nicer. So, on that basis, I'm going to give it a 5.5. And would recommend it. It's a decent amount of alcohol that even if you add a little splash of whiskey, you're not losing kind of too much for the edge of it. You still got that kind of slight alcohol kick to it, but it's still very, very smooth and overall very enjoyable. So the whiskey was a success, surprising enough for a Wednesday video. The beer wasn't. So anyway, it's 2 out of 10, 500ml bottle, 3.2%. Thanks for watching. Cheers and bye for now.